Hello everybody and welcome back to Hearts 3 Pax Americana. I am Count Christo. Let's go. Speed it up. I have something wonderful to show you. Look at this. Look at this. Look at that glorious large UI. That's fantastic. Fantastic. So much better now. We have these huge interfaces. It's beautiful. Okay, in preparation for the invasion of Mexico. And I know, I'm getting so far ahead of myself. We can't declare war on Mexico because they have zero threat to us, right? We can't declare on them until our neutrality is at 0.08. So it's going to take a while. But we're going to get there. We're going to get there. I am going to build submarines. Now, I don't know how difficult it's going to be to naval invade, because we're going to be naval invading with transports, not landers. Which I think essentially means if these provinces are garrisoned, we won't be able to invade. But we're going to try. We're going to try. So, the National Guard of the Mountaineers. I want some of them too, but for now. Marine, here they are. So, Marines like this have... They don't appear to have a bonus. Oh, they have minus 20% amphibious attack, whereas infantry have minus 80%, so it is a lot better. If we were to put artillery in, yes, it gets a lot worse. So we want to go with pure Marines. I think 3 width is good, so this is what we want. As reserves, let's go with 1 corps of Marines to start with, I think. And let's do them in serial. That's quite a long time. Let's do... That's kind of irritating. I can't do how I want. Alright, we'll do 1 serial of 3. We actually don't have the manpower for this, it looks like. Oh, I haven't invented Marines. Never mind. Is that right? Yeah, we're researching Marines right now. Never mind, moving on. We've got some more aeronautical engineering decay. So what happens when you research a tech, by the way? It moves to the very bottom of the queue and it instantly queues the next one. Because as you can see, most of these, like 3 out of 12, 2 out of 12, there are many iterations of most technologies. I think that's fine. Just putting it down at the bottom. How do you get rid of neutrality? Strategic effects. So this is one of the other things I really like about Hoi 3. There's all kinds of triggered modifiers you can get. Alright, so... oh, damn it. We're going to have this forever. We have to be a member of the Allies' Axis of Comintern before we can get rid of neutrality. But it does give us a 10% espionage and 10% counter-espionage bonus. So I guess we just live with that. Once you have 800 brigades... we have 8. You can get Grand Army. Grand Fleet, you need 100 ships. Air Force, you need 75 planes. Prosperous Convoy. Now, I don't understand this one. Strategic Convoy Impact, at least 10. I think that has something to do with this. Like, does that mean if we're sinking? But it seems like it's a convoy doing well, right? So why would... I don't understand this one. Veteran Army. To afford at least 250 land battles. Navy, fight 250 of those. Fight 250 air battles. That gives us just a whole bunch of nice bonuses. If we could control the Panama Canal... Are you kidding? We don't count as commanding the Panama Canal unless we own Panama? That's ridiculous. Alright, we need that. Because 10% more resources? Ludicrous. Massacre Strait. Where is Massacre Strait? Is that this area? No, that's Malacca. Massacre. Well, we'll find out where one of these provinces are. You have to control Sansang, Gunung. F is not fine province. God, the old days of Paradox games. For all the UI, for all the ease of use improvements. The Laut province. L-A-U-T. Where is it? Here. So I guess the Massacre Strait is this kind of area, but you have to control like this whole area to get the bonus. Well, we can do that. We're not part of any faction. Yeah, it looks like you have to control the kind of whole region. Okay, that's fine. We'll want to take over this area. We can launch naval invasions out of the Philippines. Philippines is our puppet. I think in this game you can't... So you can send them an expeditionary force. You can't take control of their people. Ooh, we can share tech with them. Share. The receiver will use your ability to in the field to boost their own research. Uses up diplomatic points and leadership in order to do it. So I don't think we're going to do that. Ask for transit rights. Impossible. You're my puppet. I'm pretty sure I already have transit rights, and that's why it's impossible for me to ask for them. But yeah, we'll launch some naval invasions from down there. We must remember to put some decent garrisons on our on these areas before we go toward Japan. And we may well struggle with Japan because if we can't beat their navy, they'll cut off supply to these, and then they'll be able to take them from us. More artillery theory decay, sure. Okay, light cruiser. We have finished the research of light cruiser. Allows the construction of light cruisers and coastal forts. Okay, so let's put in... Right, it moves them over here. I was very confused where my tabs had gone. They're over here. We are going to start researching light cruisers, and they will make a fine addition to our army. And we will do them before the artillery research. Great. Are we still going up in spy count? Looks like we are. Let's check out our intelligence screen. Oh, look at it. This bigger UI mod. So good. I should have remembered who actually made it so I could thank them by name, but I'm sorry about that. The better UI mod is so lovely. So all our spies in all the other places have died pretty much, except Canada, apparently. We have got 10 here now. So we can see more, like they're producing some planes and convoys. They're researching light tank armor, submarine hulls, all that good stuff. We are now ahead of time. Okay. England, don't care about that. We've got radio detection equipment done and radio. Nice. Lower encryption when you have radios, that makes sense. Cavalry light artillery advance. Is light artillery tech for cavalry? That's interesting. Okay. We're ahead of time on cavalry light artillery. Cancel that then. Now, I think there must be a way to add something just once. Like control click or right click or middle click. I'm going to look into this between episodes. I really hope there is, but there should be a way to start a tech and not have it automatically roll on to the next one. Maybe there's a mod I could get for that. Alright, we have a first actual homegrown fighter wing. So now if we go and look, let's keep better track of this. Alright, so at the moment we have light aircraft practical of 8.1. Wait, shouldn't it be theory? Maybe theory only affects how fast you research things, and practical is what you get from making them. Is that right? Brigades. Yeah, you get practical. Practical decreases how much it takes to build stuff. If we look at infantry support weapons, we have... Yes, so there you go. 30% of this research is affected by infantry theory, and a certain amount of it's infantry practical. Okay, cool. So those planes we'll start deploying, just dotting them around the place. And then once we get to 3, we can unify them. The Popular Front. So France is doing some political decisions. Advance in cavalry and infantry warfare, both of which are ahead of time. No, just because the cav. What is infantry warfare? Oh, yeah, it's the slowing down the decay rate. Which is really a low priority research. I was just doing it because we had gaps. What else do we need? It's not much, to be honest. I think we get go for more land doctrine then, to be honest. Maybe we do go with armor. Because armor is, it's very important. More chance of ambush. Ooh, lower combat width. Oh, ambush, that's fine. Unit cooperation, plus 5%. I don't know what that means. If our units become used to attacking in overwhelming numbers, they will suffer less of a penalty for having many divisions in the same province. Okay, I don't think that's going to be a huge issue. I think we're going to go for, like, big air force and lots of tanks. So let's get all of these. Go on. Cavalry small arms, cancel that. And cavalry weapons, support weapons, that'll be ahead of time. Alright, our first transport ship. We'll deploy it down here, ready for the invasion. Cool. Inefficient research, cancel that. Cool. One of my biggest objections to Hoi 3 is the constant saying like, oh, okay, we don't need to research that, cancel it. Don't need to research that, cancel it. So I should look into the fact that maybe there's a way for us to just queue it up once. We need actually 0 for supplies, it thinks right now. We actually do need some for upgrades for once, so we'll put some on that. Less reinforcement now. Okay, the first bunch of infantry are coming out. I'll wait for the whole 5 to actually finish before I start deploying them, I think. Might as well. So you see the next ones. See, these ones are costing 3.9. These ones are costing more? What? That's really weird. Oh, these ones change as they go along as well. Okay, I didn't realise that. Okay, I see wasted on production. Okay, we need some more production then. I could start building light cruisers, but ooh, you can pick their armaments. That's so cool. But yes, I think you can't. There are some things you can't upgrade on ships, so we don't want to build them until we've got slightly better technology. We could get some more transports, more destroyers. The German U-boats in the Mediterranean might be a problem, so we could get some more destroyers. They've been playing lots of World of Warships, so destroyers look extra cool to me at the moment. More air wings? Maybe just more infantry. We're going to need a lot of infantry. I know what we should do. We should design some... well, do we need a different template for this? I don't know that we do. I was thinking, what are we going to hold the islands with against Japan? Because maybe we want to use garrisons. Because I think one of the only big differences between garrisons and infantry is speed, I've been told. It's not absolutely false. The infantry have way better soft attack and way better piercing. Although piercing won't be so important defending mountains. They also have better defensiveness. Alright, yeah, never mind. We're not going to use garrisons. So I think we will want a bunch of these infantry just to spread out on all the islands. So let's put 2 lines of infantry into training. Give me another parallel set of 5 of these. We'll just make it 5 this time. Yes, we are going to train them up as reserves. Good, but we don't want any IC going to waste. So if we are at full capacity, we are making 2 more carriers. So I guess let's fill in the rest of that fleet. So I want 2 more battleships, North Carolina class. So we can switch this up. So we're currently using the model 1916, which I think is the best. Yeah. So we could go with the older ones, but I don't really see much reason to do that. I'm assuming they're just always going to use the best. And I don't think there's much of a toss-up between them. Oh, I guess you could go with a smaller engine because it consumes less fuel, but large warship radar, can't do that yet. Right, let's put them in. Is that going to be enough? No, we still have excess production for this now. We might as well lower the supplies because we don't need to reach top earlier. Go on then, let's get even more industrial capacity. Here, we'll build it. The reason you build it close to the capital, by the way, is that supplies are produced in the province where you have the factory, and then they have to get shipped to the capital. If you look on the supply map mode, you can see if we move these guys out of the province, you can see there's a supply depot here, and then it flows from the capital to all the places you need it. So you can see this trans-American supply highway for all the supply of all of the islands out in the Pacific, and indeed a trade with Japan, it looks like. We can embargo people, but we have to have lower neutrality to do that as well. We will probably want to embargo Japan and Germany, because there's no point us helping them. Wow, look at all these things we have to deploy. Okay, do we deploy first on the Mexican border, or first to support the islands? I think I'm more likely to forget about the islands. But I think for now, what I'm going to do is just deploy everyone in this area, and then when we're actually about to do something, we'll do a big layer of organization. So for now, we'll just do this and then leave them like that. I've got the outliner closed. We need to do that. We'll have to turn off land units if we're going to do that, because otherwise we'll get a very, very long list, because the land units thing is organized by all of the different theaters. And all of the different things that are unattached to theatres also show up. So when we condense all these down into a core and put them underneath a theatre, that if you haven't played before, that will make a lot more sense when I actually do it. Don't worry about it. Oh God, our leadership modifier is going to be absolutely horrendous, but that's fine. We can deal with that later. We've got some more CAGs. So I guess the second fleet should go in the Pacific Theatre. I guess we'll deploy it to Los Angeles. So we'll have the CAGs wait for them there. Units import supply in Los Angeles. I think that's just because they haven't needed supply here before. So there's going to be a bit of a lag while the stuff goes over. Let's stop doing the theory texts as we get to them. So let's bump diplomacy spending just a touch. I very much doubt. I don't lock that one. I very much doubt we need more than 1 on diplomacy right now. And now it's going up like crazy. Well, no, because it's going to go down every so often. Yeah, okay, that's pretty balanced at 1, I think. Espionage we're overdoing. We could start spying on the United Kingdom as well. Try and steal some tech from the UK. They must have good naval tech, so let's try some. Yeah, let's do that. Let's try some tech espionage on the UK. They've got very strong tech in artillery theory, infantry theory, weak on nuclear bomb making. Fascinating. Pretty sure the entire world would show off right now. Games of the Olympiad taken place. More upgrades and reinforcement. Finished the basic 4-frame airframe, giving us access to that. Wasting some on reinforcement, so we'll get rid of that. You can turn this off, manual control. Say prioritize reinforcement, prioritize upgrades. Let's try that for a bit. Let's say prioritize upgrades, which I think gives it to like upgrades, then reinforcement, then consumer goods, then supplies, then production. Because that's what I want, ideally. Something to just constantly rejig it so it gives it to upgrades, then reinforcement, then supplies. No, supplies, then reinforcement, then upgrades, then production, then consumer goods. That seems fine. Okay, assault concentration advance, nice. Mass assault advance, central planning advance. Cool. All of these trades give HQ bonuses, but the HQs are never in combat, so I suspect the HQ bonuses trickle down. That's my theory. Delay doctrine advance. We're ahead of time on supply transportation and civil defense. Ah, but we weren't on one of those things I just turned off. So let's go put that back in. By the way, if you research something that's for the next year, that doesn't count as ahead of time. In case you are wondering. I don't think we need to do much more artillery research. We'll cancel that when it stops. I think naval engineering research, though. Maybe we will do a bit more of that. Because that's important. We're going to want to build a big navy. Still can do more research. Allows the construction of convoy escorts. Yep, we need that. We definitely need that. SS positioning, I guess that's submarines. Finished another tech, which is ahead of time. Mechanical engineering research. Turn that off. We could get the encryption and decryption machines, but I don't think we need those until we're actually at war, so there's no hurry at all. We could do this, but it's going to be horrendously ahead of time, so it would take absolutely ages. Yeah, that's going to take us till 43 to finish. We could do more land doctrine. Integrated support. Paratrooper morale, marine morale, mountaineer morale. Plus 3% encirclement. I guess there's a chance of firing an encirclement tactic, maybe? Mechanized militarized morale. But yeah, we'll get integrated support. Delay doctrine gives more morale. We'll get that. Where's the one really important one? Yeah, this one. Tactical command structure land doctrine plus 3. We absolutely need that. Because that lets you put extra brigades in a division. So right now, if we look at our division, we only have 4. If you can get a 5th one, that's fantastic, because you can put engineers then in all your companies, which gives you 10% combined arms bonus. Finished aeronautical engineering research, which is ahead of time now, so we'll cancel that. And now we can do more research. Mechanized defensive, sure. So we need superior firepower. Combined arms is plus 10% armored. What does that mean? Mechanized defensive. Sorry, artillery research ahead of time. What should we go ahead of time on? Maybe we should go ahead of time on aircraft carriers. And they're really important. Let's do it. Let's go ahead of time on aircraft carriers. Problem is that means this pop-up's going to be here forever. But we'll just have to deal with that, I guess. And then just check. We'd have to check every tech to see if it's ahead of time. That seems slightly tedious. Alright, new fleet. Second Atlantic Fleet. And we'll need some transports over on this side as well. So here we go. Second Fleet. This is the what would we, Southern Northern Pacific Fleet? No, that doesn't make sense. We'll just do this being Pacific Fleet B. We'll have Pacific Fleet A and Pacific Fleet B. Pacific Fleet. Oh, you need a promotion. There you go. Now you can command more ships. Maybe there's some reason why that's an absolutely terrible idea, but who knows. Pacific Fleet A. Alright, and you guys should rebase to carrier. There we go. And you guys can rebase to carrier. No, you can't. Because for some reason, it doesn't like doing it if they're in larger wings. Probably because you can only assign 2 to each carrier. So if you have them in a 4, it gets confused. There we go. Other fleets. This is, how much can you carry? 80 weight. Now, how much do you weigh? We put them in a core. Is there a way of telling how much the whole core weighs? Like if I select all of them? I don't think there is. Let's learn something here. Bring the transports over here. And then if we get... Weren't there other transports to deploy? I think I already put them down up here. Okay, this is... Transport Fleet 2. The other one is Transport Fleet 1. It pays dividends if you take the time to name things in Hoi 3, I have found. Alright, so you guys. You select them all. Can you all get on this boat? No possible fleet. They have a total weight of 185. So if we wanted 1 full core to go and land for this invasion, we're going to need 3 more transports in this fleet. Good to know. Very good to know. Attack true ground advance. Is that ahead of time? Indeed it is. And the attack pilot training is too. So what else are we going to want to go ahead of time on? Destroyers maybe? Battleships? Yeah, let's do battleships. I think that's one that's worth investing in. Units in port supply. They'll be fine. I think once the supply finishes trickling through. Local supply is 0.31. Required data supply is 4. I think that'll update soon. If it doesn't, we'll well, I guess we'll have to increase the infrastructure along this highway here. Tactical Air Command Advance, which is now ahead of time. Oh, there's been an election. Democratic Party won. Everything's staying just about the same in terms of these guys. I don't know if I recently replaced governments. Susceptibility to Axis seems a bit useless. Threat impact plus 5%. We cause more threat. That doesn't bother me much. Ruling party support plus 10%. That seems excellent. Party support increases national unity, I think. It helps with some other things as well. Resources seem good, although supplies plus 20% is very nice. Let's switch him out for the military entrepreneur. Capital ship? I think naval base efficiency. Well, actually, we only need the naval base efficiency. Sorry, I can't speak. The naval base efficiency once the war breaks out. Defend reinforced chance, fine for now. Doesn't matter really. Practical decay, yeah. So yeah, we'll switch him out. Oh yeah, capital ship practical decay actually seems absolutely fine. I want land intel. That seems good. Okay. So we get all those. Got more guys ready to deploy. We'll deploy these to Transport Fleet 1. Fighter wings can assign to the one in Pittsburgh. Light cruiser armaments advance. And they can just keep researching that. Same for the light cruiser engine. Light cruiser armor. And in just a second, I imagine. Where is it? The other one? Oh, we've done off already. Okay. Still in poor supply over here, eh? Oh, I clicked past it. We stole some German blueprints. Huzzah! Got your technology, Germany. Fantastic. Get some off England as well. So our spies are working to increase their threat. They're getting somewhere. I guess we really need to increase the threat on one of them. So maybe we should just do it on... maybe we should just do it on Germany. Because Germany's going to cause a lot of threat. And if Japan declares war on us, of course, that'll be a plenty of threat, but... Process sport's done. Operational level organization needs undoing. So these guys are suffering from supply. I mean... We could try basing them up in Seattle instead. Yeah, this is the problem. There's just this big infrastructure gap. Is this the Midwest? I've heard people talk about the Midwest in the United States. Is this where that is? It makes sense. I mean, it's the middle of the west, but I honestly don't know. It's almost 37, so we're about to be able to start to research supply infrastructure stuff. It doesn't really matter if these guys are low on organization, or on supply right now, because the fact they're low on organization, I think all that does is keeps their organization low. Like, they're not going to start breaking or anything. Okay, got all kinds of men ready to deploy. Let's deploy some of these down here. 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. And go on, we'll give them cores. Awesome. Attack bomber. First attack bomber is ready to deploy. We'll put them up here. Why not? Seems good. Okay, so it's 37, which means we can start on 38 research. Absolute top priority. Give me that industry research. Give me that supply production. Give me that education. Give me that advanced construction engineering. Give me that agriculture. Then we'll bump all of those to the top of the list. And I do want the rest of this as well. And we're going to want this. And we're going to want motorized. We're going to want desert warfare equipment. We're going to want the better tank guns. Are we going to build any light tanks? I feel like there's not a great deal of purpose to building light tanks, really. I think we can just stick with mediums. We are going to want anti-tank barrels. And tank barrels. I don't know if we want to do more anti-aircraft. We might be okay without it. We're going to want... Is there something in here? Yes, naval bombers. Theory-wise, I don't think there's anything in there we need. Supply transportation, we definitely need that. Makes it, when you move supplies around, you lose some, and you lose less the better you have in that tech. More to deploy. Industrial capacity. Wait, what? I thought we were just building industrial capacity in location. Oh well. Let's deploy it to Baltimore. And when you deploy it like this, it starts out damaged and then takes a bit to repair. I don't think it takes very long, though. It's currently at 6.9, now it's up to 7, so it takes a while. So the production, the prioritize upgrades thing has been working so far, I think, which I'm so pleased about. It means I don't have to constantly fiddle with the screen. Naval engineering decay down, good. Cancel that tech for now. We've got plenty of other stuff to do. Actually, are there any? No, they're already all in progress, so. Cool. Leadership modifier is down in the absolute dumps, but that's okay. Yeah, Lexington Park. We have some more. So you need to be at 180, I believe. Yes, so one more for them. Marine infantry's done. Nice, allows the construction of marines. So let's build some marines. We want one marine corps to start with. Maybe we have two. Maybe we launch 2 naval invasions of Mexico. Because I was looking, you know, when I was drawing that plan, I was thinking maybe a second naval invasion would go well. Maybe of here. Give us another front on that, on Mexico City. Yeah, let's do that. Let's open up the invasion of Mexico City Part 1. We're going to have another section to the plan. We're going to launch from Los Angeles, all the way down here. Oh god, that's not what I meant to do. We're going to launch from Los Angeles, all the way down here, and here, and here, and establish this front line like this. It's part of phase 1, and this will also want some aircraft support. It will of course be carried out with landings and with shore bombardment with carrier support. Fantastic. So the Pacific Fleet can do this part. And then, in part 2, we need to add in the new front line for that one. In part 2, the push down here. These guys can stay passive for part 2, actually. And then in part 3 needs to have the extra line there. Part 3 can be coordinated with a push from the south here to make all of this just slightly easier. There we go. So phase 1 involves both landings, and then we make the main northern push, Then we cut in from below. Seems excellent. Okay, so to that end, let's put some marines in. And we're going to need... This template looks fine to me for marines. We're going to want just 2 lines of 5 each as reserves. Excellent. And let's put the industrial capacity down below the marines. I want the marines to get done. Fabulous. Okay, we will call it a part there. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. Next episode, we will continue to... is it going to raise this consumer goods automatically to deal with it? It does. That's so good. I really like this prioritize upgrades thing. It's fantastic so far. Anyhow, we'll call it a part there. In the next one, we will continue to let time go. As you can see, time goes very quickly in Hoi 3. You know, 3 episodes already got through a year. It's only like 2 years till war will kick off, and we can start making some moves. We may have a tiny army by then because of my ridiculous plan to go so hard on industrial capacity, but we'll see. Until next time, thanks for watching, everybody. See you soon.